So, am I right in thinking, Jen, that this will be useful to an organisation who's considering making real changes?
Yes. Yeah,
You know,
for
be it
sure.
Can you give
be
an
it that
example of that, Julie? What?
well, it could be different things, couldn't it? They might be merging, they might be acquiring a business, or they also might be just making internal changes around. We want to move from a 5 day week to a 4 day week.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
So how will that affect performance? How will that affect productivity? Will
mm,
the people? Will we? There's almost like an assumption that people fill the time, but if
mm.
they've not got the resources to do what they need to do now, is that going to become harder when you flip it to a 4 day week?
And that is a very, very, very good question. When making policy changes like that, that changes the way in which individuals are conducting their work, I would 100% say that getting a forensic view of the organization, like the systemic approach would provide, helps you to almost get like the state of the nation now, the state and the mood of individuals as it currently um, as it currently is before making those changes. What would be then very useful for an organization is we measure now, we understand where, things like turnover intention, presenteeism, productivity, we get all of those measures,
Mm,
make the change that we want to make, and then maybe in 6 months or 9 months down the line, because sometimes change does take a little bit long
yeah.
to actually have an impact and an influence. Um, 6 to 9 months down the line, measure again and see if things like productivity, presenteeism, I wouldn't worry too much about absenteeism for reasons of being ill, but the turnover intention, so the corporate citizenship behavior, work engagement, looking at those metrics and seeing if there's any shifts in that.
yeah.
If for example you go from 5 day to 4 day week and we see that presenteeism shoots up, work engagement shoots down, burnout risk shoots up, we can't attribute it only to the shift to a 4 day week, but it can be a really great consideration that maybe that policy change, for example, wasn't a good policy change to make.
Yeah.